Hi guys, welcome back to the channel on this very wet day here in Ardcavan, and we have old Ardcavan graveyard here behind us. Some very old graves in here and a historical grave of a rebellion leader from Wexford. So this is the old graveyard here in Ardcavan, and you can just see a cat there going up through the high grass. So just the plaque outside, it says, interred here among Comrade Shelmaliers is Esmonde Kyan, Commander of Artillery, the Northern Army of the Wexford Republic, 1798. So we'll go inside and we'll have a look around and read some of these old headstones. We have a little cat there in front of us. And it looks like we have a cat box behind the grave. So there's people actually feeding cats in here in the old graveyard. As we can see our friend here in front. So we'll go around and look at around the area here and see. Here we have the cat box. And some bowls and stuff. So they're feeding cats here, guys. Which is a nice thing to see, that people are looking after cats. There's just one in behind. There. We have a grave there. There's another cat box, guys. Look at that. So anyway, we'll get on with the video and walk around this beautiful old graveyard. Read some of these old headstones. So it doesn't look that bad here. Still, it's overgrown, but it's not that bad. So this one here says, sacred to the memory of Mrs. Mary Lawler, who died on the 5th of July 1851, aged 70, and her husband, Mr. Lawrence Lawler, who departed this life on the 21st of May 1856. 1856, age 88 years, and Johanna Hayes, who died the 18th, 1894, age 60. So there's a couple of other ones over here. Get around to them. There's those cats over there by the graves. Very interesting to see that people are feeding cats here and looking after them, and they have some shelter. We have an old font there as well. Look at that. You see those old stone ones in the church. This is in memory of erected by Arthur Breen in memory of his daughter Anne O'Brien, who departed this life September the 19th, 1866, aged only 20 years old. So this is the ruin of an old church here as well. Of what stands of an old church, really, because there's nothing really left. Only that part of the church where you see the ivy there. A lot of lovely old 1700s ones. Here's another one here where we see the sun, the crucifixion scene.
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene. You see the sun, the moon.
J.
Byrne, the stone cutter, famous stone cutter here in Wexford. So here lies the body of Tobias Wadlock, I think, who departed this life the 10th of March 1797, aged 53 years old. Beautiful old graves.
Look at the cats, are all coming in.
The cats are all coming in. So it's very wet here today. So this is Patrick Keating, who died the 27th of February 1923, aged 65. Also his wife Catherine, and she died in 1922, aged 55. So it is extremely wet in here. Yeah, it looks like somebody has put some chalk over that, or some form of chalk, is it? Or is it just maybe the weather of it?
James Byrne definitely had chalk on it.
Yeah, there's the sun again. The lovely crucifix. Here lies the body of Patrick Connolly, who departed this life May the 6th, 1792, aged 70.
There's another fine one here.
There's our friend again, the cat, following us. And we can't bring cats home, unfortunately. Wow, look at this. So we have a man on a horse here, you can see, and it's still in good condition. The crucifix. We have a man here who could have like a spear in his hand, maybe, like he's piercing our Lord on the cross with the spear. Another man here on this side.
It's like soldiers.
Soldiers. And this is, here lies the body of Oliver, is it?
Oh yeah. No. O-L-E-M, it looks like E-R. Oh, it's probably Oliver in old spelling. O-L-E-V.
Oliver.
E-R, yeah.
Sinnott, who departed this life 1760.
Wow.
That's old. March 1760. The writing is still very good on it.
That's amazing.
And the stone cutter's work on it. Look at that. So lovely old graves.
There's another 1760 of a Sinnott as well.
This is another Sinnott here. Here lies the body of Piers Sinnott, who departed this life the 17th of March, which is St. Patrick's Day, 17th of March, 1760, aged 88 years old. And look at the colour of that stone. Isn't that beautiful? St. Patrick's Day he died in 1760, and St. Patrick's Day was just after passing there, St. Patrick's Day. So his memory is kept alive. Now, as I was saying, outside there on the plaque, there's a grave here of 1798 rebellion, a leader who was hung on Wexford Bridge. Now, I have done videos in the past. I have done one of Bagnall Harvey, who escaped and tried to hide out in the caves in the Salty Islands. He was captured and hung on Wexford Bridge. There's another man here in Wexford who's buried in an old graveyard, and it's an old graveyard that I'm hoping to try and get cleaned up soon. And inside that old overgrown graveyard, his headstone lies there somewhere, Cornelius Grogan. So the third man I'm going to be showing you is buried in this old graveyard here today, and we'll be looking at his grave. So this was erected by John Goodall in memory of his son Arthur Goodall, who departed this life on the 29th of June 1842, aged only 28 years old. His daughter Jane, and she died in 1847, aged 24 only. You can see those designs on the grave there again. Gloria. So I make my way back up. We have a chest tomb here, and the side of it is broken. Look at that. An old chest tomb. And the side is broken on it. And see, can we just have a little look inside? And as you can see down there, we have old straw bits and the red brick, and it goes way down there. And sometimes, you know, you get a lot of people asking the question, are the people buried inside these old chest tombs at the very top of it? And the answer to that would be no. They're buried way down below ground, a good 6 feet or more. It looks like that one actually is more than 6 feet, and they're buried way down there. And the inscriptions on them, they're hard to read, the inscriptions on some of these. Andrew Furlong, I think is the name of this, who departed this life in March, aged 21 years old. So Andrew Furlong is buried inside this tomb here down below ground. So just here in front of me is what I was talking about. Here we have the grave of Esmonde Kyan. Esmonde Kyan was one of the rebellion leaders who was fighting during the rebellion back in 1798. He was a United Irish commander and landowner. He was born in Wexford. His father, a Catholic landowner, was a director of the Hibernian Mining Company. It seems that he was commissioned as an officer in the British Army on a unit during the 1770s and saw combat in Europe. He lost his right arm and wore a fake arm, supposedly launched on a radical course in disgust at the conservative parliamentary aspirations of his father. He participated in the reform campaign of the Wexford Catholic Committee from the summer of 1792. It is likely he was one of the founding members of the Gorey County Wexford branch of the United Irishmen. Owing to Kyan's veteran status, he was one of 6 leaders accorded the rank of colonel, and during the Rising was nominally in charge of a regiment of 1,200 rebels, taken prisoner sometime between the 27th of May 1798, the first day of the Rising in Wexford, and the Battle of Tuberneering on the 4th of June. He was held with 100 others, though it is doubtful his identity could have been concealed. So on the 20th of July in 1798, within a day of reaching Wexford, he was captured, put through a summary trial and executed. As rebel commander, possibly for a time in overall command, he had been popular and humane, earning respect for his brilliant courage. So this is the grave here of Esmonde Kyan. And I'll just bring you over and we can read the headstone on it. So it says 1798 to 19, I think, 38. And this is, it says, to mark the grave and perpetuate the memory of Esmonde Kyan, Insurgent Director of Artillery in 1798, done to death on Wexford Bridge after the insurrection, and to keep green the heroism of the soldiers of Shelmalier, many of whom were here interred. So this scroll was erected by the parish of Castlebridge branches of the 98 Commemoration Association. So they erected this headstone in memory of Esmonde Kyan here and the comrades from the 1798 rebellion. So that's the final resting place. Now that is a newer headstone there. So I'm thinking that this grave slab down here,
he was known actually as the one-armed 1798 rebel commander.
yeah. So here lies the body of John Furlong, who departed this life the 17th of June 1834, aged 60 years old. So there's a Furlong name on the grave slab here. So unless he's relations.
He was just interred with somebody that was already interred there. Because if he was hung, a lot of the time they threw the body into the river, and you know his followers would have kind of, you know, found the body and interred it in a graveyard. So it's possible that they have recorded it here and they've just put up this new headstone. Yeah,
so that's the grave anyway of Esmonde Kyan, a brave man who fought for his country.
The one-armed bandit.
The one-armed bandit he was known as. And he was executed and hung.
He actually had a fake arm made in County Cork, and he used to wear it. But he lost his arm. His shoulder was shot out in battle.
His shoulder was blown off, so he had a fake arm that was made, in County Cork from. So he battled through the war with his wounds and everything else, and unfortunately died.
There's another one, nice one here.
This is erected by James Murphy in memory of his wife Joanna Murphy, and she died in 1825, aged 40 years old. You can actually smell the garlic in here.
Yeah, you can. As we walk through, we're breaking it up.
You can smell the garlic from the grass there and the old graves. Here lies the body of Patrick Neville, who departed this life on the 4th of January 1796, aged 72 years old. There's more beautiful stonework there.
Is that James Byrne as well?
You can see the trees and that there, like it's an old chapel.
It's very well preserved actually, isn't it?
Well
like
preserved,
temples,
yeah.
Look at this. It's almost like a castle with flags and stuff. It's beautiful. And James Byrne.
That's James Byrne again,
Just
yeah.
Look at his work.
So I wonder how much these would have cost back in the day.
See the serpent at the feet and the face of death.
Or Magdalene Mary.
Look at this. Look the way he is, his legs. His long coat. And he's carrying a cross. So if anybody knows who this represents, please let us know.
Yeah, because a lot of these depict something, you know.
Amazing. The sun is the life, life and death. Look at that. His style. Look, the coat. Long-tailed coat. Look at his legs. But he's carrying a cross.
Yeah.
So he's not a soldier.
Beautiful work.
Oh, it's stunning. So well preserved.
So we'll try and get around and see.
There's actually more over here, look.
The rain is falling heavy here now, kind of, so It's hard to get around in the rain.
They're just lined up here.
There's some nice ones over here. Yeah, there's 4 there together, 3 maybe.
They're starting to sink in course, unfortunately.
So here lies the body of Martin, is it? Rossiter, who departed this life the 7th of December 1825, aged only 20 years old. That one there, I don't know if you'll be able to read that, but you can still see the stonework on that there as well. Look at that.
The chalices.
It's way down, it's sinking into the
All
ground.
of that, yeah. Can't see nothing. Look, there's the ground compared to it.
It'll show you there the depth. It's gone down into the ground.
We have some, what's this here? Oh, Gloria, that is it.
This one here is sinking as well, but I think it says Mary Furlong, who departed this life. There's a year 1799. Look at that.
Age.
If you can see that there, guys, 1799, aged.
Is it 30?
30 years old.
Vaulted crucifixion scene.
An angel up the top here. So 30 years old back in 1799. Look at that. More old ones. Angel, cherub designs. Here lies the body of John Rossiter, who departed this life the 10th of May 1799, aged 76. So some people lived longer than others. People died young back then. Look at the size of this.
How well that's preserved.
Wow, look at the size of this stone slab here. It's like a tabletop one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the writing is perfect on it. I'm going to see, can I read?
And 3 sisters, I can see.
So, erected by Humphrey Murphy, in memory of his father Anthony Murphy, who departed this life on the 15th of February 1802, aged 65, and his mother Mary Ann Murphy departed the 14th of May 1795, aged 48. Also his brother and 3 sisters. Andrew departed in 1845, aged 75. Mary the same year, 1845, aged 65. Then a year later, Catherine died, aged 72, 1846. Alice Anderson, alias Murphy, departed on the 8th of October 1847, aged 69. Beneath are the remains of the above named, who departed this life on the 12th of December 1860, aged 66. There's a load of Murphys there, different names. Yeah. And it goes up as far as 1927, so we're starting at 1802 and we're going up as far as 1932. So there's a large number of Murphys buried there. A beautiful Celtic cross. Yeah, Sinnott's a very popular name in Wexford. Erected by John Sinnott in memory of his wife Katie Sinnott. And she died the 14th of June 1926, aged 49. Also his son Patrick died young. Also the above John Sinnott died in 1955, aged 79. Nice example there of a Celtic cross. We have an old headstone here that has broken away at the side of it. John is the name on that, and I see a Robert. Unfortunately it's broken. But we do have a daughter-in-law here, a Sinnott, who died the 26th of February 1881, age 86. So that's the Sinnott, another Sinnott grave. Look at that headstone. Unfortunately that is broken away like that. Yeah, so a beautiful old graveyard. You see some iron crosses hidden in the grass. Old stone markers just there. And some of them are falling over.
That's so strange, isn't it?
Headstone is falling here, is it?
Completely lying, but it's kind of jutting out of the ground.
Yeah, this one here has fallen over. It's leaning over. So it says, in memory of Mary Murphy of Wexford, who departed this life October the 15th, 1829, aged 75, and her husband Dennis, and he died 1829, aged 74.
Look at this.
And look at the grave.
It's like it's coming out sideways. Look at it.
It's fallen over, but it's like it's nearly hovering over the grass. Like how it's still able to keep itself
Look at this.
level.
So tiny.
Tiny grave. In loving memory of John Lane, who died the 13th of April 1913, aged 56, and his grandson Cornelius O'Shaughnessy, who died in August 1920, aged only 7 months. So John is buried here, and his grandson Cornelius Grogan, we've heard of.
Yeah.
Now here lies the body of Mary Connors, who died in 1821, aged 40, and John Connors died in 1823, aged 36. Eleanor Connors died 1824, aged 56. An iron cross here. James Nolan, who died the 12th of May 1919, aged 50, and his wife Jane, who died on October the 9th, 1940, age 82. So a load of old graves. We have a load of animals around this old graveyard, look. Old donkeys here. Beautiful to see the donkeys. He's cute, yeah. So there you go. There's a real Irish setting there now with the old donkeys in the field beside the old graveyard here. Look at that. He's coming up to say hello. So we'll keep going, guys, and I don't have anything to give the donkey, unfortunately. But look at the colour of that grass. How green it is. Some old headstones here too, broken. You can just see ones there that have tops have broken off them and stuff like that. The what? And I'm just going to read those graves that are there actually. Or the cats. So here's our friend. And he's going down the steps, leaving us.
Oh, it's getting heavy, isn't it?
The rain is getting bad here, so I'm going to read. This one here has fallen over. Erected by John Coles, Coales, Coles, is it? In memory of his wife Mary, who departed this life 29th of May 1857, age 44. But look how clear that writing is underneath there. It's protected because it's leaning over that way. It's kind of protected. There's no weather really getting at it.
There's a lot of children.
Erected by Moses Redmond, in memory of his children. Aidan died the 26th of December 1862. 1862, aged 2 years old. Mary died in 1863, a year later, aged 9. Annie died a year after that again, aged 2. Margaret Ann died 1882, aged 26. Ellen died 1882, the same year, aged 22 years old. And his wife, Catherine Redmond, died 1885, aged 62. So you have a load of children here, starting at 2, 9, 2, and 2 of them died here the same year, 1882.
And September.
And September as well, is
September the 13th and September the 20th.
So I wonder, did all these children die from cholera or TB back in the 1800s? Yeah. They all died around the same time, the same year.
It's leaning sideways as well, isn't it?
It's leaning sideways, so it's very sad to see the Redmond family here and all these young people who died, 2, 9 years old, all different ages. So rest in peace to the Redmond family. So sad to see. I can't imagine what it's like. And there we have our friend in the background letting us know he's there.
Wow, he's noisy.
The donkey.
Oh.
Oh, he sounded sad. So we have cats, we have donkeys, and we have old 1700s gravestones here in this old.
And you can see the rain is
coming down very, very hard, guys. So I am not going to stay much longer here. I might read one or two. One here maybe, where these cats were. I'll just read this one here. Loving memory of Michael Sinnott, who died in 1904, age 84 years old. And that old cross. So guys, I think I'll leave it there at that. It's getting very, very wet here. The rain is coming down hard. So we braved the weather here today to get you this beautiful video of the old graveyard here in Ardcavan in Wexford. So if you like this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. It lets you know when I upload, and give the video a thumbs up as well. Hit that thumbs up on the video. So from me here, Grave Visitations in Ardcavan Old Graveyard. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you all on the next one.